And testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, how's everybody doing today? I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and you are listening to Car Musings. That is it. That is what it is today. Welcome to tuning in to Car Musings. And hey, it's another warm day out today. It's another wonderful day. It's not my early morning routine. It's kind of like I'm out here kind of like early evening, I would say. Trying to take care of what I gotta take care of. Sorry with all the sounds here. All right, so how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. How is your integrity today? Today, you know what? I think I want to talk about. I don't know. It's too good to be true. That's today's topic. It's too good to be true. That is what we're going to discuss today. What do I mean by this? Well, let me tell you. Too good to be true. See if I could try speaking again. Okay, too good to be true is basically along this concept. Obviously, if it sounds too good, it's not true, right? That's just the way it is, and that happens in a whole bunch of different areas of life, whether it's relationships, whether it be opportunities, whether it be anything. If it sounds too good to be true, chances are it's not. No, that becomes a little difficult at times when somebody believes in you and pretty much says, "Oh yeah, I believe you can do it," and you jump on board and you're all in. It's like they see something in you don't see, but they sell you on, you know, this bridge, so to speak. And the thing is that it's really difficult sometimes to not to dislike these people because they sell it really well and seem very genuine and stuff like that. I'll tell you, my friends, this last 6 months, latter part of last year, if those of you have been following along, I went through some changes, got into the insurance business, blah, 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 went to school. Pain in the ass, really was. I hate schooling. I'm not a good student. I'm more of a hands-on type of guy. But, I had this really great guy. Go figure, he's Italian, right? So Italians are smooth. So he convinced me. He goes, "Yeah, well, you can do it, blah, blah, blah. Opportunity." I'm like, "All right, cool." Oh, I'll tell you, my friends, the world's changing. It really is changing. And if you don't have a network, community, if you don't have any of that established, it's really difficult to get into a business type environment because the thing is that you kind of have to have some sort of client base in effect at some level. And if you don't have that, it's kind of difficult moving forward. Now, the reason I never got into this whole community thing is I'm more of an individual. I don't care about, I rather fight for the one underdog than worry about the big group of people. I'm not big on popularity, all that stuff. I'm popular in my own ways and my own rights, but I don't seek it out, right? I don't need to be the center of attention. So usually I have a one-on-one where I help out the underdogs doing the struggles and everything else. But here's the thing, right? So where we're currently at is this. So this guy sells me on this. And it takes a lot for me to completely switch into a field I know nothing about. It really takes a lot to convince me to go back to school. It really convinces me to completely go in an unknown zone because otherwise, I probably would have done better in IT. But it is what it is. So I jump on board on this whole idea and I decide, okay, let's go back to school. I'm convinced this is my opportunity. This is my chance. It's like, boom, let's do it. We're going to make millions. We're going to be awesome. That wasn't the case. Wasn't the case, my friends. I went in full bore. I spent money I didn't really have, but because I was thoroughly convinced that all this time, all this effort, going to school, getting my certs, getting my licenses, getting all this stuff like that, wow, it was going to be awesome. So I bought some suits and I got a work phone and I did this and I did that and I went all in more than most people do. I just jumped in with both feet and said, screw it, I know I'm going to succeed. But wouldn't you friggin' know it? Everything unravels at that point. I finally get the checkbox, I get the approval, seal of approval, I get the go ahead, I get all this stuff like that, and boom! Guy who brings me into it, my mentor bails on me. Fuck. Yeah. Reassigned to some 30 something inexperienced twit who's basically living off a family legacy. Personality conflicts left, right, and center. You know, misunderstandings, lost in translations, all that crap. Not really a good fit. Doesn't really help because now I'm stuck in a situation where I'm all in, thinking that, hey, who brought me in is gonna still be there to guide me. No, it's kind of like, okay, sink or swim. You fell for it this far. You're into it. Don't get me wrong. The guy brought me into this. I like him. He's good. He's got a young family. It's all good, and I wish him all the best because he made decisions that was right for him and his family, and that's great, and that's awesome. I've been friggin' treading water to the point of sinking for the last 6 months. Nothing's panning out. Don't have a community because, well, you know, when Caucasians have communities, they're called racist and neo-Nazis. It's just frowned upon for some reason. But, you know, if I had a good tan of some sort, then, you know, it'd be a different story. That's okay. That's okay. There's no mafia or organized crime or organized anything going on there. No, no, no. You know, everything's on the up and up bullshit. Anyways, I know that last comment could be misconstrued as, you know, negative, but no, it's seriously. I'm seeing the world for what it is. That's kind of the biggest issues I've always had. Is the fact is that people have a tendency to get a little up in arms about the fact that I actually do see things a lot clearer than most, and I don't fall for the bullshit. Anyways, that's another story for another show. So here's the thing: I'm all in, and I'm just draining my savings. And we finally got in the black when I lost the job. Back in the tail end, 4 weeks before Christmas in 2023. But anyways, so I'm living off the savings, what little savings we had, you know, our extra bump in life to be able to do stuff we want to do or whatever the case may be. And nothing's panning out. Oh, you should do this, you should do that, blah, 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 blah. Why are you not succeeding? I'm like, are you freaking serious? I've talked to the other Caucasians, okay, and they're having the same struggles. So you tell me, it's not just me, it's across the board, my friends. So back to the moral of the whole concept of the whole show and everything episode today. Basically, it's this. If it's too good to be true, it's not. Really, really think out your decisions before you jump on them. That's all I'm going to say. Really, really, really think it out. Because if it's a gamble, you getting into something that's completely unfamiliar territory, and you don't really know a lot about it, you might want to err on the side of caution. Now, they say scared money never succeeds, never grows. Okay, fine. However you want to swing it. But when you have other people that are relying on an income from you and it blows up in your face, that doesn't work. If I was solo and 20 years younger, hell yeah, I'd take an opportunity. I would take the chance. I would roll the dice and go, okay. But I'm not in that situation anymore. But like anything, my friends, I mean, especially in today's world of scams, if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. It really isn't. If some Nigerian prince calls you and says they have billions of dollars that they want to share with you, forget about it. Like, come on now. You ever heard of a thing called cryptocurrency? There's ways to move that money. And getting your bank account's not one of them. So, yeah, just be careful about that. Relationships, friendships, opportunities. Everybody's on the take, unfortunately. At least a good 99% of them are on the take. And you just got to be careful. It's amazing how people are so self-serving that they don't really care about the outcome for somebody else as long as they get ahead. It's a sad state of affairs, and it's going to be the undoing of this planet, and undoing of civilization because everybody's in it for themselves. But I do see some rays of hope, some light of hope. Some once in a while, I do see that, and it's nice. You know, some people aren't as completely jaded as myself and others, but it's not enough, unfortunately. Everybody's fronting, everybody's puffing their chests out, everybody's on the take, everybody's pulling a scam. And when I mean everybody, I mean the 99% ish, roughly. There's 1%. It's kind of opposite. It's kind of how that works. But, anyways, the 1% of the rich are the rich, and they're basically the ones screwing everybody else over. But, when you flip it the other way, the 99% are trying to screw over everybody, and those 1% that's not. So but we're not the same people. That's the thing. It's not the rich 1%. It's just, the nice, considerate, moral, ethical people with, integrity. Okay, so back on the swing on this. I just say be careful. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Really think about the words being told to you. Really think about the situation presented in front of you before you jump in. And I'm going to tell you a warning from my own experience. Sure, if I had family money like I see a lot of these people do, and if I had money to fall back on and everything else, that, I don't have to sweat paying the bills, putting food on the table and all that crap, then fine. I could swing it for 2 years and go from there. But other than that, I can't, and most people can't, take a gamble on a possibility, especially in today's world. You can't necessarily go with a possibility. You have to go with let's be smart about this. That's kind of what it comes down to. You got to be smart about it. You got to be really smart about the decisions on that one. Yeah, it sounds great in theory. I like the layout of it. In theory, it sounds great. But when you talk to people that are a year ahead down the road than you, or 2 years ahead down the road on you, even 3 years ahead down the road on you, and they're still in the shitty situation that they're in after that long, you really have to say to yourself, do I want to be that? Do I want to be that person at that point? Do I want to be in that same situation where I'm bitter and I am not happy and I am going through all that crap? Do I want to be that person? Because, you speak to people that have been doing it longer than you have. Ask around, do some research, I know there's always risk in something, but you really got to balance out what you're willing to risk and who else is relying on you for the risk factor. In any situation, not necessarily just in a job opportunity or business opportunity or anything along those lines, but truly something along the lines of, should I get involved in that relationship? Should I go out to that bar? Should I be an asshole? I mean, there's so many possibilities. I saw a BMW driver doing like 200 miles an hour, being a complete asshole. Anyways, should I do all these things? And the question is that do your research before you do. Don't jump on it. Because the seller is going to try to sell you on it like it's the next thing, the next greatest thing. And you'll end up getting burned in the end. Because selling it on you probably puts money in their pocket and they don't care what your outcome is because they already got their commission check. And you can use that scenario in like a lot of different ways. Somebody's getting paid somewhere along the lines and that ain't you. So you really have to just think about, making that decision. So anyways, I wanted to put that out there. And it falls into like so many different scenarios, right? Like for instance, I got a neighbor next door who is a con artist salesman, right? He basically blows sunshine up everybody's ass to get the immediate approval, but never has follow through. Yeah, too good to be true. Oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'll do that for you. Everything else, blah 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 blah. But he doesn't. It's not true to his word. So it's like, okay, it's too good to be true. You say you're going to follow through something. You're going to help me out. You're going to do something for me. Oh, look at that. You did fuck all for me. Do I have to keep bugging you to make good on your word? I don't want to have to keep doing that. So obviously it's too good to be true because you're trying to help me out with a major situation, saying you're going to do it just to make you seem good, and you seem like the hero of the day, but in actuality, you're just being a complete dick. And you know it. You know you're being a dick because you know you're not going to follow through on that. You just want to feel good at the moment when people look at you with admiration. Just, whatever. So, I could go on with 1,000,001 stories. It's sad but true. That's the reality of a lot of people. They don't have integrity. They don't keep to their word. Word is not their bond. They have no honor. Blah. So, I fell for one of those too good to be trues. It sucks being in that situation of too good to be trues. And now I'm in the recovery stage because I refuse to let myself sink any further. That's kind of where I'm at. I refuse to let myself sink any further. I am simply going to recover what I can, swallow my pride, lick my wounds, and say, screw it. All right, I'm going to move forward now. That's what I'm going to do. It's not going to be easy, but, I've already wasted enough time. I can't waste any more, so. Cleaning up this mess, and then after I clean up this mess, I'll move on to another mess. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, such is life. Such is life. But my best advice to you is just be cautious. Just be cautious. Just be aware. Just be wary. Do your research. Do all that stuff like that. Safeguard yourself, your family, everybody else, and take it from there. All right, so I think that's about it for today. I'm not going to keep babbling on this. It's probably a little shorter show than normal, but I just want to put a cautionary out there because I'm dealing with this, and it's hard to not be pissed off, but you really have to look at the whole situation. Yeah, I was suckered into it. I have a tendency to be trusting once in a while, but it's no wonder. I understand why people become bitter because you trust people so much to a certain extent, and then you keep getting burned and burned and burned and burned, and then it's just like you don't want to keep going through it, but it is what it is. So, who's your problem, Dick? Fucking drivers, cocksuckers. Okay. So I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thanks for tuning in to Car Musings. I'm going to wrap this up for today. I got to focus on downtown traffic because it's pretty crazy and all the idiots are out right now. And thank you for tuning in. Check out themadmorgan.com. Feedback, comments, all that stuff. Anything that you can throw back and help out with in any way, whether it's contributions or ideas or thoughts or anything along those lines. Please share them. Also, if you want to throw a few bucks my way, great. I appreciate that because right now I really need it with the way the finances are going and being jobless. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Keep your integrity in check, and I will see you next episode, my friends. Bye for now.